Prairie. Um, for me, I would say that spring is really brought everyone together. It's like even though it's a brand new team, we all still connecting as one and trying to find that new meaning to our team and defense as a whole. But as of right now, we're almost there, but we're getting there. And I feel like as of right now, going into all these practices, I would say we've improved a lot.
We'll start with questions from the floor. Please raise your hand and I'll call.
This question is for Ojo. Ojo, how has your mindset changed coming into this season compared to last season?
I think complacency is the new mindset I have. Like to not get complacent. I think we talk about it every time in our team meetings here. Because it's very easy to get complacent. You can make a play and then you be like, I'm good. They say you drop the ball, like without seeing it happen. So I think just not being complacent is like the new mindset for me.
Molik, how's the defensive line unit set the tone during practices this spring?
This spring, football is a very physical sport, so everything starts up front. So as being in the trenches, you have to put hands on someone. So you don't have to hit first. You can get in the mouth.
Lionel Mosley, PBRs, everybody. This is for both of you guys. Last year, both of you had productive seasons. But coach always talks about, right, just because you were don't mean you're going to be, right? So can you talk about as an athlete, as an individual, and also as a collective, how do you guys go about actually accomplishing that?
I'd say it's just like Coach says that just because you weren't don't mean you will be. I mean, just because you weren't don't mean you will be, and just because you was don't mean you will be. But I think it's the competition that we get into because everybody's role is up for grabs. Like it's not, you know what I'm saying, you're the guy, and no matter what you do, you can be replaced just like that. It's going to happen in this program.
Going off of what Ojo said, just because a lot of people like come like as myself, I'm a return starter. It's like people get too comfortable, so they tend to think just because I'm a starter, I'm gonna be a starter again, which is not true because you would easily replace just like that. Because there's always gonna be competition. There's always gonna be someone else that's better. You have something else that you don't feel. So, to me, I try to always look for something else to improve on, so I can always keep my spot. But anything happens, but I'm not gonna let that happen.
All right, right. Talk about the offensive going into the second year in this offensive scheme. Of course, this is just spring, but you have to feel some sort of excitement, right? That you can be able to be a high producer going into the fall.
Yes, sir, for sure. I think our offense would be taken to the next level because last year was just a year one offense. This is a year two offense. We can elaborate, we can schematically do stuff against other teams, and I think we'll be able to take it to the next level for sure.
For both of you guys, is there anybody either from your position group or your side of the ball that may not be a household name that's, you know, as we say, might be balling and or doing real well in practice that everybody sort of see, okay, he for real?
For me, I would say I'm actually gonna call two players, Elias Sanders and Elias Sanders and I'm gonna say Prairie North. For Elias Sanders, coming in, I would say since our defense has changed up a little bit, we're moving around a lot now. So this year we have a lot like great like pass rushers. So for him, I would say like he reads the run, but his pass rush is like he's very technical with it. So we've seen him beat a lot of one-on-one battles. Carry North at the nose position, which you have to be a dog in. He's been doing his thing. I was watching his film a lot. I've been talking to him. So I mean, he's still working on certain things. But I would say our defense, especially up front, has changed a lot, and I'm really excited for us going into the next season. Yeah.
I would have to say, I'd say Will Taylor. He plays wide receiver. He was an underrecruited guy out of high school. I'd say he's always up here in the weight room, getting extra lifts in. He's on the field, always working out. I'd also say Tremaine Davis. He's been having a really good spring for balling out, I'd say.
For both of you guys. A lot of national attention has been on the program now. So coming from the Celebration Bowl, going into this next season, has it been more distracting for you guys, or how have you guys stayed grounded?
I would say that was last year's team. This collective hasn't done anything. So we're gonna have to prove a name for ourselves because we can't just live off of the past success we have. That's nothing.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's not a distraction because we always know where we're heading. We always setting goals and we got to reach the heights. I would say it is a target on our backs because everybody's trying to, they're the defending champs. We got to take them down. And it's like, that was last year's team. It's a new team. Like Rodney said, this team has done anything ever. But we do expect to go back to the national championship.
I have a question for both of you. So what areas, just bouncing off, you gave teammates praise for talking about spring, but what areas in your game have you two focused on improving in, and just personally?
For me, I do struggle with my feet. My feet are slow, but I've been improving that by getting extra work on the field with ladder drills. And for the game, I've been mostly trying to understand the offense more by ID in the back and the tight end and fixing my alignment and my stance. Because up front, one false step, the whole play that you can't recover. So that's what I've been improving on as a player. And once I get there, I could take it to the next level.
I've been working on, I'd say, press coverage releases. I think if you put a one-on-one matchup, I think that's a mismatch in our offense. So if you can win that battle, I mean, we're going to score for sure. But I say point of contact, not running out of DBs.
So, Coach talks about, what he expects and what he's kind of looking at to get out of the spring with the players. So far this spring, what would you guys say is the identity of the team?
Well, we take really big pride in mass enthusiasm. I think we feed off the energy. It's not, we've outplayed a lot of teams last year just based off the energy. I don't think we were always better than other teams. I think we just always out-enthused other teams. So it's like chance and the culture we build in the program that carries us to football games.
Going off what Rodney said, I would say energy is a big part of our program and our team. If you look back at past games in June, you can tell that every time we got a stop or we scored, everybody's cheering, like clapping and hugging. So I feel like just off of us just thriving off each other's energy, it makes us play at another level, which I think most teams didn't have when we were going to be playing against us.
Not to get too far ahead, but what are you guys looking most forward to for the football spring week? Any events that you say, man, I'm really looking forward to that?
I'd say the block party in the baby dome. 90s. I want to see Coach Jackie's element.
Okay.
So that's the one I'm kind of looking forward to.
I'll say the same thing. I'll be there.
Malik, do you think some of the dances that coach is going to do for sure can help you with your footwork?
Of course, exactly. He's been. I've talked to him about that before.
Yeah.
I'm just still waiting.
Any other questions for our student athletes? Check.
One more. Just respectively on your side of the ball, offense, defense, what do we expect to see, the fans expect to see in the spring game?
I expect the fans to see a very sound defense, very committed defense, and a very locked down, three and out off the field, quick in and out.
But I'd say a lot of high levels of competition. I feel like a lot of explosive plays, some out of body plays. We got playing.
Nasty. Talk about post-football plans. I always talk about guys from championship teams are better suited than the regular students on campus. If you could take a minute to talk about maybe your post-career or post-football playing career, what are you planning on doing, and how does being a part of this university and program make you more marketable to the Fortune 500 companies or your own company for that matter?
Yes, sir. I believe that PV has a lot of connections down here in Houston. Me and Coach Jack talked about opportunities for internships this summer, so he's very open for that. But I'm a business management major, and that's a very broad major, I feel like. So I think there's a lot of opportunities, especially down here in the Houston area, just based on how close PV is to Houston.
Just like what Roger said, there's a lot of opportunities, especially after winning the SWAC championship and us getting the ring, just be able to do more exposure to other companies out there that want to meet deals and brand. Well, and not,
Oh, Joe, you had a really great offensive mind as a wide receivers coach last year, and you're working with a new receivers coach in Coach Darryl Colbert, who had success on this level as well as in the NFL. What have you learned from him and taken into this season?
Coach Colbert is, he's a pro. Like, he's gonna treat you like a pro. He's gonna tell it to you like a pro. But he's not just a coach about ball. He's a coach in life. He's very wise as a guy. But Coach just talks about keeping focus on the basics and also work on the little things. You might be good at a lot of good things. Don't just work on the good things. Focus on the little things that you're not doing.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
I wouldn't have that. Wouldn't have that. We got some work to do. All right.
Okay, now introducing head football coach Tremaine.
Appreciate you, Ms. Thurston. I think past introductions around here. Welcome. Good morning. Man, week 2.5 per se of spring ball. A lot of things going on. We're coming up on Good Friday. It's a Good Friday to work out too, and so we're gonna get them in the weight room tomorrow. Finish this practice 7 today. There's some things going on in our program. There's some questions we've been asked, and so we kind of going to address those here in the opening. We're not starting over. We've heard that over the last couple of weeks. We're not starting over. This is not a start over. This is a building forward, moving forward. We understand exactly what we came here to do. It hadn't changed. You're going to hear me say that a lot throughout the year. This hasn't changed. Our goals are our goals, and now we went from goals to we expect to be in certain places as we move forward. I think some people thought maybe it was a whim. There's no more whims. This is how it is around here. We built up on some things that have been laid well before we got here, and we're just trying to make them better. And so wanted to make sure we answered that in the opening. There's a lot of things going on in spring ball. Players are getting better. A week ago, I probably thought we weren't very good. And then we had a scrimmage on Saturday, and things started to look better. Tuesday's practice was a little bit better. And so what we're starting to see now is the maturation of the guys that are new. Those guys that didn't know exactly what was going on, now they kind of know what's going on. We have OTAs throughout February, but there's no pads on and things of that nature. Guys think they got it. And then you put that helmet on them, and now they just breathe a little different. And so now those guys are starting to get in what we call football shape, where I'm wearing pads and I still can run the same. And it's starting, the execution is starting to be better. And then they're starting to be better just on the little things. We tell them all the time, how you do small things is how you do all things. And they're starting to do the small things better. And I'm talking about from breakfast check to how they tie their shoes when they come out the locker room, to getting out of the locker room on time. Some of these guys have been in some places that they've been able to lounge around. We do things a little bit different at Prairie. And what's been fun is listening to the guys that transfer from the Power whatever or the other places and talk about how the urgency is different in our program than where they've been. And they've been at some places. They've been around some coaches, right? And so these guys, they're trying to get used to how we do it. Our roster is being developed daily. Competition is key. There's 3 phases in our program. You're either a starter, and we can win with you. You're a contributor, that we can win with you or without you, or you're what we call the black cat. The black cat is a young Panther that's on the scout team, and we put you in black all year because you never know what scout team you're going to be on, whether it's offense or defense. And so those guys right now are trying to chase the phase they want to be in. You want to be a starter, man. Just because you was yesterday don't mean you are today. And I think we heard those players say that earlier. And so those guys are trying to find their role. I think when people bring a lot of transfer guys in, they don't tell them how they can earn a role. So it's 3 ways. You can be a starter, you can be a contributor that we can win with or win without, and then you can be a black cat. So we're touching on that. You talked to our players earlier, Rodney and Molik. Those are 2 guys on our Unity Council. Those are 2 guys that are being taught how to lead and being developed as leaders. Too many times coaches get up here and say he's a leader. But he didn't come out of mama's womb as a leader. He had to be taught how to lead. And so we meet on Wednesdays as a council, and we talk about things in our program, whether the shower stall ain't working, whether they need soap, all the way to what jerseys they like, what they don't like, and how we need to be better as coaches. I shared with our staff this morning, if you want to know what's going on in people's homes, people's organizations, people's countries, go talk to the people. And sometimes as coaches, man, we're scared to talk to the people because we really don't want to hear what the people say, right? And so we talk to our people, we meet with them, we listen to them, and they've given us great feedback. And I think it speaks to their development as leaders. And we certainly look forward to them being able to go. And so those are some things going on in the program. Our culture is our edge. It is what it is. We talk about being a dog, being disciplined, obedient, having a lot of grit. If you don't have those 3 things, we find that out very quickly in the program. This program will expose you, and I think nowadays more than ever, it exposes guys faster. And then you just can't be here. You can play. You can't play here if you don't display those 3 things. And so big times at Prairie A&M, spring game coming up. Coach Jackson don't coach in the spring game. Coach Jackson is the commissioner. We're gonna have a draft on Monday, the 13th. Whoever the number 1 pick is, we're gonna do some fun things. A lot of friendships are broken at that draft. A lot of just because you're my roommate, dog, and it's fun. What's fun about that is the players know who execute. The players know who can play, who can play in the heat of the moment. The players get to draft players, the seniors draft players and coaches. So Coach Anderson will be the head coach of the gold team. Coach Buckner will be the head coach of the purple team, and they will duke it out. But the players will pick coordinators and so on and so on. And in a little preview yesterday, there's some coaches that think they are that are not. And the players have said that. So we got that coming. Big Junior Day coming on that day. Football week going on that week. The 90s party. We got some alums on Facebook talking about can they come back. No, this is for the kids. This is for the kids. We'll have a grown folks party for you at some point. People at Prairie A&M, I tell crews all the time, we're looking for a party now at PV. PV gonna party. As you can see from all the watch parties and things that we had. Golf tournament, May 21st, Golf Club of Houston. It is a football golf tournament. I don't care about your golf game. I just need you to get a foursome and get yourself over there and get moving. Half y'all can't play no golf no way. So just come on, have some fun. We're gonna have, I don't know if I should say this, we're gonna have the cigars out there. We're gonna have everything we need out there, but it's really to give our program something that was here a long time ago that kind of faded away that we need to get back to. And we spent the spring trying to make sure we get back to some things that were happening here well before we got here, but needed to come back. And now we have so much that we didn't have. We have stadium, we have a locker room, we have a real weight room. And I hear the stories from the former alums. Man, we got some things now that those guys wish they had, right? And we got social media. As long as we got social media, we can always show people how we living and how good we living here at Prairie View A&M. So it's I'll end with this before questions. There's a really big announcement that I really want to tell you guys. And I hadn't even told AD Golf this, but the Panthers are still coming. The Panthers are still coming, and we don't have no target on our back. Malik what he was saying earlier was there is no target because there's nothing to target. This collective has not done anything. We're not going to walk around and be hunted. And Coach Isaac, if I was in ATB, how's it feel to have a target on your back? I don't know what you're talking about. Ain't no target. We're always on the hunt. And so I just think people admire us a little bit more per their social medias and things of that nature. They have to look at Prairie View A&M. The question was asked when I got here. When Prairie View A&M gets everything together, will they gonna be hell on wheels? Well, now we're starting to look like hell on wheels and people are starting to get upset. And so we love it that way. We love it that way, but our focus is for us to win the SWAC West, win hosting and win the SWAC championship. We have to host the SWAC championship game. It is imperative that we do that because of the turnaround for the Celebration Bowl. We want to be the home team. That's not an excuse, but that contributed to some things that made us uncomfortable last year. And then we can just leave here and go to IAH and get on the plane and head to Atlanta and win there. So with that, I'll open up for any questions.
Coach, talk about the Unity Council. How do you get on it? What's the criteria?
Have to be voted on by coaches. The criteria is that you're a right thing doer. You're not on lists. You got good grades. You've done your community service hours. There's an application process, not necessarily that they have to fill out, but that we go through as a staff to make sure they even qualify. From that Unity Council is how you qualify to wear a single digit in our program. So then you're voted on into the single digits. There's nothing, Kyle, I hated more than going to the game and seeing number 2 on the sideline. I'd snatch your jersey off, you number 2 on the sideline. But what you find with right thing doers, they find a way to win in situations, right? So you got to play them because they find a way to win, right? And so there's 11 guys on that council. Coaches nominated them. We've interchanged them. Some guys might not have been ready, but some guys need to grow in leadership, right? And so we've given them some opportunities to grow. When you see us stretch, we're stretching in those council lines. We call them families. Every council member is the head of a family. And so when we stretch, we're not stretching in position, we're stretching in families because the guy in the front has got to make sure everybody's in line, ready to go, on time. And so we've done everything like that throughout the spring. And then we have family meetings as well. And so we talk about being a family around here a lot. We're trying to get guys structured for their lives, right? Some of my guys got kids. They need to know how to run a family. And sometimes you got me as a family. You got, and then you and mom got to get together and have a council meeting, right, on the kids. And so we just try to give them those little tools, but that's how you get on, and that's how that operates. Yes, sir.
Coach, if you grading practices daily so far, who got the edge right now, offense or defense? One maybe a little bit ahead of the other.
Based on Tuesday practice, it's the offense. Man, it's been competitive back and forth, and that's what you want to see. At the end of the day, I do look at that defensive side of the ball, right? And the defensive coaches probably got it the worst. If it ain't going well, I'm going crazy. But what we love to see is the offense have great days, because there were some times in fall camp It wasn't no great days for the offense. And we walked out there really not knowing what we could be. The Cam Peters you saw in the last 2 games of the season ain't the Cam Peters that was in fall camp. And vice versa, and so we love to have it go both ways, but it's been about 50-50 so far. So we had 6 practices before today. It's been about 3 and 3. If you walk down the hallway, you'll see the explosive plays that they've had. We updated every practice, the amount of turnovers that they had. So those guys are competing for something. That's why I think it's been about 50-50.
So you talked a little bit about the black jerseys, the black cap players. When we talk about last year, right? Can you talk about maybe some of those players that you've seen improvement from that are now competing to have a chance to be a starter or a contributor?
Yeah, well, Will Taylor. I think Rodney mentioned it earlier. Will Taylor was a black cat for us, man. And you know really early who's got a chance to be a good player at some point based on how they take care of their business as a scout team guy. The guys that go, I'm on a scout team, I don't feel like it, probably don't suck as a player. Because when he don't feel like doing something, he's not going to reach his full potential, right? But the guys that take it in stride and go and get better, those are some of the guys. Will Taylor was the biggest one that stood out. Zylan Williams is having a decent spring. He was a true freshman last year. He stood out. I think he's got a chance to be a contributor. There's several guys on the offensive line. All our baby freshmen that we had on the offensive line last year, they're starting to understand what this grown man business is about. But we don't have a lot of 18-year-olds, man. That's just what it is. So these guys, it's like being with Big Brother every single day, but they're growing into their roles. And then we had, Jalen O'Neal as a kid that he was ineligible. So he had to be a black cat, but he could have very well played for us last year. Jalen Allison, he's one of those guys too, man, that he was on the deal. Now he's rushing the passer. And so we're starting to find out what guys can do, not on a card. It's easy. Hey, line up here and go. Now these guys are having to learn the scheme, and you see their athletic ability show up. And so I'm excited about that group of black cats we had last year because I think all of them have a chance to contribute to this collective in some form or fashion.
Any other questions?
Coach, can you talk about the addition of Coach Manny as your offensive line coach?
Man, so me and Coach Martinez, when we were at the other place, he was the offensive line coach and I was the D-line coach. Because I think that's when we were trying to beat you. And couldn't get that done for some reason. Man, me and this dude used to go at it. He had really good offensive linemen. We had good defensive linemen. Man, we used to go at it. And I've always enjoyed the way Coach coached his guys, how hard he coached them, how hard he loved them, how hard he recruited. And just the fact that he's an out the mud coach. This dude been around the block, man. This dude lived in the dorm at Howard and coached. And I got a lot of respect for guys that get it out the mud. Some of these guys think they get it out the mud, man. They started on second base, and then they call it a double, right? If your daddy coached, you probably started on second base. And so none of that happened for him. Dude from Pasadena, Texas, went to U of H, grew up on the other side of town, man, and has always been about his business. And so I've tried to hire him in some other places. His family situation wouldn't allow that to get done. The minute Bryce Carlson, who I love to death, Bryce Carlson told me he had that opportunity, I hung up the phone with him and I called Manny Martinez. I don't know if that's HR correct or not, but that's who I called. And he applied. So can't nobody get it. He applied for the job and we were able to get the deal done, man. But as you know in coaching, you got to have that list and that Rolodex on the side to go, if this one leaves, then what's the next step? And we were able to make that move fairly quickly. Every year since we hadn't worked together, we meet for Christmas and we go to this Chinese restaurant that we went to when we were both line coaching. Now, Coach Martinez lost a lot of weight, so he can eat a little bit more at the Chinese restaurant than I can. But every year we kept that going in hopes to one day work together, and now here we are.
You talked a little bit about the football week. Can you talk a little bit about where that idea or concept originated from, and what is the program actually hoping to accomplish with the football week?
Yeah, man, I got that from Johnny Cole. Johnny Cole when I worked as an assistant under him, they had been doing that everywhere they had ever been. And I think they did it at Tennessee State, they might did it at Alabama State. They've done it everywhere, right? And so when he first announced the idea, I played at the place. He was talking about having football. I'm like, ain't nobody coming to that. Students, man, it's a transitional camp, ain't nobody coming. Man, they packed that deal out. And so what it did was it allowed us to connect with the students. I love our alums, but our students are here every day. And so we need to connect with them. If we can get the student section rocking, then that gets out. Next thing you know, people want to come and see our band, our student section, and the game, right? It becomes all inclusive. And so we need to do a better job of connecting with the university and connecting with the student body. And so we're going to do power football player. Well, we should have a lot. I know there's some folks around here probably mad at our guy. We're going to charge too now. We're going to charge $10 a pie. We should get $50 on the first pie. And some of the young ladies around here have expressed that they can't wait till the pie, a football player, come out. We're going to do a beat a match deal. And so, man, that party is the culmination to, hey, man, the football team, we're in here. We need the regular student body. Let's get in here and just have a good, clean time. We ain't always got to go to Houston to have no party. The party came, the dome party came from Dr. Lee. He was telling me about it. Crews always keep me updated on what used to happen. Here's how we used to do it. And so we wanted to bring a little bit of the past to connect with the future, take this football week that we've been wanting to do for a long time, get it all connected here, and then finish the week off with the spring game. And after the spring game, man, the players got to go do finals. And it really ain't no more fun to be had until you're done with school. But we want to give that to the university. We want to give that to our players. It's also, they're getting their rings on that halftime of the spring game. So it's the last celebration of all of what that was, right? I told the players, you get 30 days to wear your rings. After that, it's it. And I'm going to give you 30 days just because you're going to be out. When we come back May 23rd for summer, that's it. Put that ring in the case and it's over with. So it's trying to let everybody connect. Everybody wants to see putting all that stuff together, man, and having a good time. But that came from Coach Cole. In my time with him, we did it 2 years in a row. Man, we had a pool party out of this world. I've never seen anything like that in my life. So I'm not doing that here. But it was off the chain, as they say in the 90s. It was off the chain. But it also helped our student attendance. And if you remember, at that place, we played about 25 miles off campus. And so those students got buses and came. Well, our students just got to come out the door. But people support people they believe in. How do you believe in somebody? You get to know them. And how do we get to know them here at Prairie? In a party setting. I've gotten to know a lot of folks at these watch parties, in these parties, right? Smoking cigars. Like those are those events, man. So we're just trying to give them something.
Coach, talk about your new staff.
Yeah, I'll talk about the off the field staff more so than on the field. Man, Dr. Williams and I got together and we moved Coach Colbert to the receiver coach out of the operations / offensive assistant role. We had an opening. We wanted to hire a female. It was very important to us that we went and hired a female. There needs to be a female in the football office. And we didn't have that luxury. I couldn't afford some folks the last time around. And so we were able to get Shay Taylor, which Shay is coming from Arkansas as the director of recruiting. We wanted to increase the recruiting role. Dr. Williams is so beneficial in knowing everybody around here that you got some things coming down the pipe from a business operation side to where I really needed him on the business side, especially after coming back from seeing Prime, man, and really understanding what we need to do to create revenue for ourselves. Not go and with our hand out to the university all the time, just generate revenue for ourselves. So I wanted to get him more so into that, which took him out of the recruiting role. And then we were able to hire Shay Taylor. And so she's getting her feet on the ground. I think our recruiting is going to improve. You're talking about somebody that's been in the SEC and the Pac-12 and the American. And I mean, this is her smallest job on paper, right? But it's her biggest job in terms of being able to run the roster and being able to make sure things look right in recruiting. We had a deal the other day with the players. She had the pom-poms on the table, the tablecloth was crisp. Well, it would have been a fair table with some dominoes on it, fooling with me. And so, little things like that deserve a woman's touch, right? That might not impress the dad, but it impresses the mom. We wanted to make sure we covered all the bases. So that's been one of the biggest moves. Obviously, we talked about Manny. We talked about Coach Colbert being over. Chase Todd is an analyst that we just hired. Chase played at U of H and Texas State. So he just got cleared for hire a couple of days ago. So we got him coming in as the assistant offensive line coach because we lost ours to Wisconsin.
Coach, with everything that's going on now, how has spring recruiting changed on the collegiate level with the transfer portal, not looking at as many high school kids as I'm used to? How's that in flux now?
Yeah, I don't know how anybody else doing the coach, but for us, man, we try to grab what we can grab in January in that portal deal to get them here for the spring. And then we wait. There's a pause period now where you used to, in that February time, would be getting your high school list together, playing in all these junior days. Man, we have one junior day, and whoever wants to come. And then we go out and spring recruit in the junior colleges. So we'll get on planes a couple of days after the spring game, and we'll scour the country in junior colleges and try to find those guys that don't graduate till May, that might have held out, not assigned, might have thought they were going to the power or something, and it ain't working out, right? While we got coaches out on the road, we have coaches here going back through the portal to make sure there's guys, find those guys that have not signed, or that have signed somewhere and gotten out of it, because that's a new deal, right? Some guys sign, don't go till May, but then somewhere along the way, they don't want to go anymore. And so we'll scour back through the portal, and we'll get back at about the middle of May before the golf tournament, and we will project the roster. As all that's going on, I'm in there making decisions on players. That's just the nature of that beast, right? You have that exit meeting, you lay out the expectation, you let a guy know if he's coming back or if he's not coming back. Players have plans, but so do we. And so without this second portal, it's a little bit tighter than what it was a year ago. A year ago, we let 54 guys go. They ain't doing that this year, right? We got who we got for the most part, but we didn't fill all the slots. And people might say, man, I signed 70 guys, you didn't fill all the slots. No, man, I can't be too. We slice that up. We know how to chop that, right? And so we got some positions of need that we got to go out and find, and we'll look forward to doing that. The goal is, though, to have everybody here May 23rd. All freshmen, all transfers, the returners. We check in May 23rd, and then we go to summer one right after Memorial Day, which is phase one for us in the summer. And so Coach Moore will grab them and get more.
Yeah. So how many phases this summer? 2?
Yeah, it's the first, it's the Monday, the Tuesday after Memorial Day to the 4th of July, and then we come back after the 4th of July. We don't give them much time to celebrate America now. 4th of July on Friday, we back in there Saturday morning with the one day. We ain't got time. We know we free. We know America is what it is. We got to get to work. And so that following Monday, we'll be right back in there until we go to fall camp, which here's what I don't think people know. Because we play in week 0, we'll be in fall camp July 27th. Man, that's the earliest I've ever been to fall camp. Last year was like the 29th. Now we're 2 days ahead because we get that week 0 time, right? And school doesn't start until the first week of the season, that week 0. So, man, we're going to have dudes in camp from July 27th all the way to August 23rd. It's a long time, but it's a necessary time for us to that final gelling. I tell people there's a spring team, the summer team, and the team, right? The team has to be ready to go coming out of fall camp. And so we'll have them for a lot. But it's, 8 weeks in the summer, man. with a discretionary week, and the discretion better be that we get it done.
Mhm.
And so we'll let them off for a few days, pop the firecracker, get on back in, lift some weights. That's what we're gonna do.
Thanks.
Yep.
Any other questions from the floor?
All right, appreciate y'all. Go Panthers.
Thank you, coach.
Coach, I do have a question.
What's got?
The young men, notice a subtle difference. They did a very good job how they played in the months.